Hello Level 3, we are back with another video, and this video is going to be about class topic 1A, which is traditional stances. So I'm going to highlight the most important part of the stances and the actual stances themselves that you'd be learning in this actual class. So let's start. So one of the first stances we use is the horse stance. The horse stance is a very neutral stance that gets us to have really good ability coordination-wise on the right and left side of the body. So it makes us not favor one particular side over the other, which is important for real practical self-defense, right? You may not always have usage of one side of the body for whatever reason. So the horse stance is just as I'm showing you. We have our knees bent, our back straight, our eyes forward, and our hands up. And so everything's very neutral here. I can be in a really wide low stance if I want to work on some flexibility and strength training, or I can keep it more in a medium base, which is typical of our Kempo system, okay? The next stance we're gonna talk about is the half moon stance. Very similar to the horse stance. The only difference is we have one foot that's in front and one foot that's in back, whereas in our horse stance, the feet are on the same line, the same plane. Okay, so in the half moon stance, this teaches us how to stabilize ourselves forward and backwards, and it also teaches us how to move forward and backwards, which you've seen in the previous video. Okay, so from the side here, we've got this position where I have one leg in front and one leg in back. All right, so that's your half moon stance. Both of those stances are essential as you start your beginning level of training. The next stance we're going to talk about is the Flamingo Stance. The Flamingo Stance is the position where we have one knee straight up in front of us, and this is actually the first stage in kicking, and it's also the third step in kicking as well. So we rise to a flamingo, we kick, we come back to a flamingo, and then we set back down to whatever stance we want to be in, okay? The last stance we'll talk about is the front stance. The front stance is where both feet are actually together. Sometimes when we're standing in a more casual position and our feet are just slightly apart, this is pretty much where we are all day when we're talking to someone or doing whatever. This is also a position we can get caught from in a self-defense scenario. So it's good to know how to react from a narrow position and widen up, or it's just good to know how to keep a good posture also, which helps throughout the day with energy, stability, and overall comfort for your joints. In all these stances, again, the 4 white belt rules are essential. Those rules are knees bent, back straight, hands up, eyes forward, okay? In our front position where we start class, those 4 rules still apply. They apply in the horse stance, they apply in the half moon stance, and of course they apply in the flamingo stance. So get really good at those stances through a little bit of repetition, and you'll find that you're laying a really solid foundation for your entire training. Good luck.